Texas. He's in Houston. Okay, he's a really good person that is working in business from tips for sales. So Sean, it is the owner of Just Lunch, and the thing for today is this is why your elevator pitch does not work. So there you go, Sean. Give me a minute. I put you in.
Hey, thank you, Sam. Great to be here.
Yes.
Hey, thank you, Sam. Great. And as I mentioned, my name is Sean Channel. I am the founder of Just Launch. We work with small businesses to help them launch their sales teams. So I've had the opportunity to work with several hundred small business owners at this point to help them increase their sales acumen, become more proficient at building out sales teams, and to ultimately grow their revenue and profits. And I have to be honest, when I was a young entrepreneur, I struggled. It just was something that I did not succeed at. In fact, my first two companies failed. And the biggest reason for that was the fact that I didn't have the sales skills to go out and sell my product. And so I knew I needed to get into sales, and so I moved into real estate. And I did that for 20 years. Then I moved into cars, did car sales for a few years. And I even spent 2.5 years doing door-to-door. And I'll be honest with you, I sucked at all of that. Now, it wasn't for a lack of effort. I was reading books, I was taking classes, I was working my tail off. I learned all my products, and I had a ton of passion. And it wasn't until I moved into tech sales and started cold calling companies that I really kind of blew up from a sales perspective. And I went from making right around $17,000 the previous year doing door-to-door sales to all of a sudden making just under 6 figures that first year in my technology sales career. And while I found success pretty quickly, when I first got into technology, I wasn't making good traction. And part of that was because of the way I was trying to find new clients. You see, I was making the same mistakes that so many salespeople and business owners make. I was going into every sales conversation, right? Whether that was, sending out an email, over the phone, face to face, walking into that conversation with the idea of an elevator pitch. And for some of you, maybe you're not familiar with the terminology of elevator pitch. Right? The idea is that, you meet somebody who might be a potential client and you introduce yourself. Now, hopefully, right, in theory, you're in an elevator and you look over, you see their name badge, and you get the opportunity to pitch them your product or service. This is the approach that I took as a salesperson in real estate, car sales, door-to-door, and even when I first got into technology sales. And what I came to understand is there's several different challenges when it comes to the traditional elevator pitch. The first part is not all clients know that they need your product or service. I'll give you an example. My wife recently traveled out of town for work, and I went to help her load the car. As I was putting her luggage into the trunk, one of the articles of clothing fell out of the bag, and so I reached down to pick it up. And doing so, I realized that the tread on her tires was going bald. In fact, you could see the cords, the metal pieces through. So she definitely needed new tires. However, if someone had come up to us the day before and said, hey, we got a sale on tires, let me tell you about our tires, I'd have been like, no, we're good. Right? Now, the reality is we needed tires. In fact, we probably needed tires months ago. You obviously don't know how my wife drives, so it is possible that she burnt through that tire in a day, but more than likely, we needed to get tires a few months back. But sometimes clients don't know they have the need. So when you pitch your products or service, they don't know that they do need those products or service, so they tell you no. The other problem with the elevator pitch is, what if you have more than one product or service? How do you choose which product or service to pitch? The idea of an elevator pitch is you got a minute, 2 minutes to kind of explain what you do. I say at a high level, we help companies launch their sales teams. But when we really start talking into the nitty-gritty of what I do, we help you hire, we help you recruit, we help you interview, we help you train, right? We help you develop, we help you with the CRM system. So there's many aspects of the services that I offer to customers, but that's challenging to put into an elevator pitch. And if I tried, what if the fourth or fifth or sixth thing that I tell my client about is the thing that they're potentially interested in? By the time I get to those, they've already moved on. Lastly, the elevator pitch is about you. It's about your company. It's about your product. It's about your service. It's about what you do. The reality is, most people don't care. Most people care about their company. Most people care about their business, their challenges, their needs, their wants, their goals, their vision, not yours. So when you start into a conversation with somebody and you start telling them about you, most of us just kind of check out. We've all been to that dinner party. We've all been in that networking event. And someone, instead of asking what it is that we do, understanding where we come from, what our background is, what our passions are, they just start telling us about them, themselves, their family, their trip, their vacation, their business, their company, their promotion. And pretty soon you're like, great, good for you. That's the concept that the elevator pitch takes us to. And what we need to do as entrepreneurs, what we need to do as business owners, is we need to take a different approach. We need to get away from the traditional sales model that requires you to talk to hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people in order to find one or two potential clients, and switch up our approach. We need to put the focus on our customers and our potential customers. Now, do we still need to be able to introduce ourselves? Do we still need to have a statement that allows companies to understand who we are and what we do? Absolutely. And so there's a couple points or key parts to that approach. The first thing I do is I say, my name or my company. The second thing I talk about is who we help. Now, most of us, again, as entrepreneurs, want to help everyone. And potentially, we have the ability to help everyone. But I would tell you that if your goal, especially in an introductory statement, especially when you first meet somebody, is to talk about how you help everyone, that will make them feel like you don't understand their business, their niche, their clients, their challenges, their problems. So who do I help? I help small business owners. Can I work with large companies? Yeah, I have. But mostly my focus is on small business owners. So when I introduce myself, I work with small business owners. What do you help them do? The third part of this. I help companies launch their sales organizations. I don't get into the nitty-gritty of how. That will come later. That's part of our conversation. If and when it makes sense, based off of their needs, their goals, their wants. Are all small business owners ready to launch their sales organizations? Absolutely not. So am I trying to sell to everybody? No. And you shouldn't be either. Find the people that are qualified for your service and then invest time with them instead of trying to sell to everyone. So what do you help them do? Right? At a high level. Potentially you can get into a little bit of the how, just a smidge, right? By hiring, by recruiting, etc. But more importantly, what do you help them accomplish? Grow their revenues, increase their profits, right? What are the things that they care about from a business perspective? What can you help them achieve? If they work with you, what does that business outcome look like for them? Are they going to have improved efficiencies? Right? Are they going to be able to globalize? Are they going to be able to reach new clients? Are they going to be able to increase their revenues? Are they going to put more money in the bank? Right? And if you're really good, what you'll do is you'll also throw in there what you help them avoid. You help them avoid going down and then making the wrong investments. You help them avoid, right, losing clients. You help them avoid missing out on potential recruits. Whatever it is that you might help them avoid, throw that in there as well. So you go from a pitch where you're trying to sell your products or services to a simple statement that allows them to understand what it is you do. And then you switch the conversation. Then you quickly switch the focus to their business. I might say something like, hi, my name is Sean Channel. My company has just launched. We help small businesses launch their sales teams so that they can, grow and scale and not have to keep hiring people and have that revolving door. But what that looks like depends on the clients. And so let me ask you, what is it that you guys do? What does your business look like? And I immediately turn the conversation back to them so that they can share with me what their goals are, what their needs are, what their business is, what their challenges are. Once I understand what that looks like for them, then and only then can I properly align what it is I do with where they're trying to go. Otherwise, I'm just throwing darts. And I'm pretty good at darts, but in sales, I want to increase the probability that I'm going to find opportunity and make those sales. As business owners, we usually get a fair amount of email, fair amount of salespeople coming up and approaching us. And if you think back to the last week, month, 6 months, year, most of those salespeople probably came at you in a very similar form or fashion. Most of them probably came at you pitching their product or service. And for the most part, most of you probably were like, I don't have time. I'm not interested. I'm good. Thanks. No thanks. Right? And we blow them off. And if we as business owners, if we as entrepreneurs, if we as salespeople take that same approach that you're rejecting, why would we expect different results in our own business? How are we going to find the clients that we want if we're doing the same thing that we know doesn't work on us? So I encourage you to do something different. If you start different, your clients will see you different. Too often we wait until we're in the sales cycle to start trying to prove that we're different. And unfortunately, then it's oftentimes too late. You are unique. There are likely things about your business that are unique as well. Celebrate your uniqueness right from the start. Do the things that other people aren't doing. Do something different from the traditional sales approach so you can find different results. Be bold, be daring, be you, and have a little fun while you're at it. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it, and sell well.
Good effort and work that help us more business.